So, today we are going to build a beat out of the bicycle. We've done this a few times before, but not with the gear we have now, and not with the bicycle we have now. Tell you a little bit about that while getting this project together. So I did a little preliminary setup, make sure that we could at least have something to start with here. Like we did another live stream on my more personal account to show bringing the bicycle in here and setting this table up, and even like through my mental space of what I have to think about to get this together. It's not that much. It's actually fun. As long as our basic human rights are not being stolen or held hostage or threatened. But I am told that just get live stream going. Sorry about tapping the everything, and sorry we don't have our pro audio setup in, but we're literally going to set up on live stream. I'm told that this is interesting. So today we are using the Sony FX3 version 6 firmware, and we are also using the iPhone 12 mini, which is connecting the camera wirelessly to the internet. Just have to keep this open to make sure I'm not missing any calls and to see that the stream is still going. Yay. You know what? I should bring this whole app over to my desktop because I've been using it a lot more lately. Great, just leave this sit here. Got to show you turning off the server. Not that there's much on there right now. It's locked, actually. Thanks to Palantir and their NDA services. They're really the only reason that guy, what's his name? Karp, whatever. Alex Karp is a billionaire is because he makes bully contracts with people saying that you cannot talk about the contract. And that's after he wines and dines you and makes you feel trustworthy. It makes him feel trustworthy. And then after the feeling that you can't do this without him or else he's going to do it himself anyway and take it from you. And that's what we have going on. So we are just going to keep boycotting the companies he does that to, and it'll be shown to all these companies to never ever sign contracts with anyone that's related to his company. And the only power he has is to say that that's his company. He didn't even found Palantir, but the original founder was getting the same kind of boycott occurring, so he just had someone else sign on it. Same thing keeps happening. So, yeah. My server is offline, but we're still able to get our files because we know how to do this. It's just a lot more work. And we're documenting that we are being thrown off by having to do that. Right now, I'm showing you the fun work. It's actually play for me. Feels like play, especially this way. We have like 4 or 5 other songs to sing. This one we're just finishing up the bike core song. I'm sorry the bike is not in frame, but we have to set up the gear to sample it first. Shout out to anyone with the Ableton Move. That's how we're doing a lot of this magic. We built a whole beat when we got the bicycle in front of the people who gave us the bicycle. I'm friends with the non-profit founders of a bicycle co-op, and they know my story, and they know what we're doing here is for everyone. And for me to be able to get around town, I can get across Bushwick in 10 minutes on a bicycle. And that's not even trying. That's like just casually riding. But my old bike was stolen by my ex-slumlord. I had it locked up out front of my house. And I went upstairs and did something for a few hours and came back down and it was gonzo. And we tried to check the surveillance footage, but conveniently the person who stole it came from around the block, and or from across the street from like the side of around the block from there. You can't see, you know, and their face is like distorted. It's amazing that like we can see dust particles on the moon, but we can't see who steals bicycles. The cops said that the footage really didn't help with anything, which means it was already paid for and bought out, and it was planned. I already have a conspiracy about how that went together, because you see in the video footage that my slumlord's goon was outside, like just standing staring at the bike, then runs inside the house, and then runs back out of the house, and is out for like an hour or something like that, and then comes back, and then maybe like not even an hour later, my bike is stolen. And that's all within like the time span that you see me locking the bike up, going upstairs. And it's a safe neighborhood. It was a pretty safe neighborhood. There was only a gas station across the street, and like it's kind of unknown to get that far away from the trains unless you're like wandering, and it's just a bunch of gay trans people who are aging, you know, who need a place to live. Williamsburg is already filled up for the, you know, and East Village, it's the same thing, and it's awesome. But we have to keep finding new places to hide that are good for us. And the warehouse district is like my generation's hangout spot. We really love those concrete buildings and the super space and the nighttime. Okay, so what I'm doing here, so far off, this is all about the bicycle though. So I got a bicycle like middle of last year, 2025, and it helps me to get around it. I want to show this song more and be able to perform it and show them that like even loading the old song in and taking live samples is really cool. But I have to fix the bike. Okay, so I'm told this is interesting to watch. It's not really interesting to do, but I'm having to use like the move manager. Okay, we're gonna adjust our f-stop so you can see the screen. Yeah, it's just about file movement. So what is this set for? What is this set for? Let's just hear it in the room, right? Oh, right, this was the Bandcamp song. So good. I have to fix it though. Okay, so we're going to retitle this to Bandcamp. And we're going to have a corporate, or a, what is it called? Yeah, I think it's just going to be a corporate album. It's just going to be called Corporate. And it's just going to be all these companies that we have to write songs about. And I have a good amount of them so far. We just need to now move the files around, and I'm showing you how much effort that is. Once again, we're shouting all the way out to Ableton and the community who is considering using this type of workflow. Now, I got this specifically just for the sampler, and apparently there's some big hype on the sampler getting some serious features, and we're not really interested in this being so much as a synthesizer as much as just like there's a couple synths that we always need. Like we always need a bass, we always need ambience, and we always need bells. And that's just to fill the frequency. And punk understood that. Hip hop knows that. So we only need 4 tracks, really. Drums and those 3 layers and voice. So we're going to be getting some features that help with that. But what could we move here? Kind of using everything that we got. It'd be great if Ableton could make this so that it would automatically just keep adding to our move server here. But I can understand that might be exploited. However, Ableton could make money off of people buying more server space, as well as issuing their beta pets and sponsored animals like myself the ability to just do it. I don't do anything excessively like that. What my eccentricity is the lyrics that I make and how I live. My life is universal. I live in a universal way. There are aspects that I believe need to be further subsidized in a way, but companies like these, like Ableton and MPC and Sony, these things we don't absolutely need to stay alive. However, when you give them to the right people, it helps everybody stay alive. You notice everybody really likes this new workflow, or what I'm coming up with. The workflow itself is kind of feeling a little rickety, but let's do this. I normally would be fidgeting to like do this typewriter screen thing, so I'm glad that you're here with me. Let's see, I know you're totally enjoying the carrier wave of the computer fan. Yep, we did our OnlyFans to show you what some of our distractions are, but let's do this. Blah blah blah. We've got to clear singles. We've got singles 1. We've got singles. Let's see, what's the difference? From rooftops. This is so nice being able to just open it and my songs are there. I'm very grateful to Ableton for, one, creating Ableton Move, which we've been trying to design out of the MPC Live spectrum, but specifically just for audio mangling. There are things that we can do on the Move that people probably won't be interested to do on the MPC for quite some time. So we're getting a little ahead of the curve here, but we have to let go of some of our old stereotypes. But I wanted to just say, this is amazing how I can just open my project and my songs are there with the memory allowance upgrade. We're on beta right now, so it's important for us to talk about these things. Green grass tiles while smoking sky. Till they want no more. Name drop. Post-pop. Autism acceptance. That's right. We don't have Aeolian in move. It'd be great if we could have each pad saying what note, relative note, or summed up note. You know, there could be different options for how you're reading that note. But if it could just tell us like the key it's in, and maybe even a detector. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. I'm sorry. It's like under the table, and I have a New York amount of space here. You can use that phrase however you'd like. I'll put it into my own notes here. Good call. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out which one of these. I love making music, playing and playing, making music while playing the instruments. I like singing and playing finger drums with knobs. This is perfect for me if it had some more features though. Yay! We're keeping that one. I think, let's see what this other singles album has to offer. Do I have that one in the other singles? Thinking out loud. Let's see if we can find it. If I can even copy paste it between projects, that'd be really cool, but I don't think I can. Yeah, we're still trying to just make our executive decision about which one of these projects have to be moved. I really like being able to hear you guys screaming your names in this one sequence project. Oh, I'm starting to have side thoughts. That means people are thinking about me. They're talking about me. They're talking about me. Shut up. Are you able to tap into your radio head? Can you understand that you have superpowers and that you have been training them your whole life? Some of us have been repressing the thoughts and thinking they're not real. Sativa only. Okay, and back to the super focus. Let's see. Can I grab this and then go to I don't know what that's going to do, but I see the word paste up on the screen here, and yeah, I need to set up more cameras, but I think that's a bigger project. Oh, right, okay, wait. It's like offering me this idea, this paste idea. So let's go in here. Let's see. Did it work? Is a song we play softly at first each day. Notes made of whispered dreams, floating in silver streams. Hearts look to find me key. Care is the symphony. When you are close to me, time turns to harmony. Love is the chord we find. Warm in a restless mind, dancing through every louder when you are near. Moments may fade like rain, falling sweet with pain. Still we return again, humming that same refrain of all I've left dancing on your songs and notes. Use the share in verses in the line. Life in its ways will guide us home. Whoa, I can undo while the song's already playing. This is a super sampler. Holy fuck. It's got so much going on in it. Let's see if we can get rid of the paste. Actually, I'm trying to see, maybe we'll put all that back in. Yep. And it's all there. That's what happens when you have a super processor and you're organized with your code. Let's see. So, singles here. You know, my thought now is that I don't want to lose the album cover picture on my Ableton Note on the phone. Whoops. There we go. I eat my fingers as snacks when I'm stressed out because I like to get blood on the gear instead of crumbs. Ha ha. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Yerpity derp. Jerpits and merpits. Okay. So I think we're just going to download the singles one, and I wonder what is the music of that? What's that even sound like? Let's try to do something cool, at least, you know? Alright, we need the next track to accurately... I'm getting, like... Yo, Emily in the house, tuned in. Make sure to shout out the gear that you see, and if you have like feature requests or anything, just leave them in the comments, because I'll just take them right to my agent, I guess you could say. I've known him in first person for a while. It's interesting. This is just in the room, by the way, because I've got to do so much of this thing. I'm just filling this up so that I can export it. Yeah, I know. Apparently this is something to do on live stream. If you want to hear it nice and clean, you gotta subscribe to the channel. I'm kidding, there's no way for me to even like control that. Yeah, and if I lose one channel, I just get another one, and we just keep going. So might as well just keep it up, and humanity can have universalism as soon as possible. You see how silly my little life is. Maybe you want to make it possible for everyone else to be able to do this. Can't wait until Ableton becomes like free for everybody, and like they could keep the price down on these things. They would own the entire industry, because the other companies wouldn't be able to lower their price that far. Whoops. I may have downloaded that before it was done, so let me delete that bundle. Yeah, Emily and I work on songs, and we try to keep our groups mingling, but we have this telepathic thing that we do, and it's like it's still like almost unacceptable for humanity to understand. But we have our mutual respect and know how to keep it going at least once a month, doing this thing in public, you know, not this, but like the aftermath of this. And I promise we still have the bicycle. Okay? It's still coming. I just have to move files, and it takes like this much effort. And since I'm talking about what I'm doing here, it takes a little more time, but the sponsors want to know what's up, and they want to see the whole shebang, shaboom bap. Okay, do we have all the downloads? Okay, singles bundle, singles 1. So we have to take this out of the local. We've got to set this to make it local, because it won't delete from manager unless it's local. That's like a preventative measure from you deleting it by accident. Although I can accidentally delete things that you can't even imagine how, you know? But I'm trying to write some songs about that too. I know, how am I doing for my New York like lumberjack NASA style going on? I look at myself and I'm like, that's not me, but it is. You're like, shut up. I like what I'm looking at, dude. And I'm like, fuck, man, fuck, thanks, whatever. Yeah, I've got my nice camera on, because it goes directly in, and we're about almost ready. Now we have to go and find that file, bytecore. Where'd we put that? I think we put that on the MPC. See, now the next natural movement is to turn the MPC on. I literally woke up and did my human things, like the bathroom, eating, smoking, responding to a couple messages, and then the moment I got to the point of doom scroll or consume, like consumerism, not just maintaining, that's when I realized I should go on live stream and hold myself accountable for doing whatever I'm going to do. Since a lot of people are counting on me, and not even in a contractual way, just informal, the influence. And what are you doing with your 501c3? Well, the influence is very small. There are tiny movements that we have to make now to fine-tune what it is we need, because we see everybody wants universalism. Everybody could use universalism, from Tel Aviv to DC clean. Okay, we're turning things on so that we can get to our files now, because I save all of my audio music stuff to my MPC. And it's almost full, so we're about ready to get a new drive. And we should probably get a drive that's even 2 to 3 times larger, so we can back up everything and just keep going. I'd love to be able to open all of my old projects. I have the companies trying to make more compliance so that older programs can be opened. We're in an era of monster code, so we can crunch down all of these programs, but they need to be neatened up, and we have to make sure that there's no hallucinations or something that might seem like an error to a program editing bot chatter, but is actually a feature for us. Alright. New project, and mind you, I've got this time traveler's gene thing, so do we want to get out here? No. I don't know. I guess I don't want to move the camera because it's perfect for the actual project. I don't want to get tired either doing this. Right, we have to go in controller mode. And then that will be our hard drive. And then we can grab our bike core song. And then we have to also take what was somewhat of a finished project and open that on the MPC. And we're going to merge this all together, same way we did last night with the Bandcamp song, and it turned out terrible. But I know how to fix it now. It's just about the vocals and yeah. But the composition finally worked its resolution. Alright, let's go to we're going in here, so we got to go to Ableton, and we're going to just type in bike core. Just type the word bike. Okay. And there's the bundle. You can see I have the bundle here that I saved from before. I'm meticulous with my memory, so if anyone tries to gaslight me saying that I'm clumsy with my memory, no. I was sabotaged. And we just drag and drop it. This is apparently a new feature. Error, failed to upload, invalid set, and that's, I expected that. Maybe we go to upload, and then we'll drag and drop that. Maybe this is a bug, and I'm catching it, and that's something good to have on live stream. Yeah, so I wonder why that's an issue. So we're going to put that into a note here. We're going to go Ableton move. So this already kind of slows down the whole workflow. I wanted to go back into the song and build it from scratch that way. But yeah, I've got another way we could do this. Let's find our Ableton move. You know what? I'm going to put on some ambient. Wish I had someone here with me who could make some music, wink wink, and while I'm like doing this in the background, but then could focus on jumping into the next part. So traditionally, people would just open this Ableton bundle in Ableton, but that workflow doesn't really make it sound better, in my opinion. So we're gonna go back to Suno. Mind you, we just stopped caring about what a DAW is and DAW-lessness, but we are pretty much recording in standalone mode. It's just soon we're gonna need Suno to be standalone and to have new processor chips, GPUs, to build into our bots. You know, you could get an older GPU as a starter, and you then get the newest one, or you start to customize your own, and it learns your style, or you could make it learn anything, but it would essentially hold all of this data that this server has to hold. And you could maybe even pay more to have an emergency cloud attached to your Suno up into the other part, whatever you're working with, you know? So we're going to find our bike core song, and we're just going to grab the MIDI from it. That's all I want. Get stems and MIDI. All right. 50 credits for up to 12 separated instruments, vocals, and MIDI tracks. Or it's 10 credits for vocal and instrument. I'm sponsored by Suno, so I can get more credits. I can also work for more credits. Once you have the Suno Pro account, basically Studio is the best one you should really get. And that would allow you to change things within the session. You can like flatline the BPM, you can change the BPM, you can change the pitch of everything, kind of like Moises. And you can like just drag and drop change lyrics in while it's already made. And then yeah, there's a lot more coming, but those are the things that exist right now, and I can't talk about what doesn't exist yet. I mean, that's my job. We really need it. Okay, I'll just say it for everyone. We really need the voice to clone our voices. Like, we need to input reading prompts like we do in Apple accessibility in the speech section, which I helped get in there. I feel like I'm maybe the #1 cheerleader to get that in there, besides for the developer who lost his mind working with Apple. But he needs to... He's hiding now. He's been abused by the system. But we need him to go and now talk to Suno and work with Suno. We tried to get him to work with Ableton, but Ableton also has a really weird, strict contract policy, probably because they've been screwed over so hard by like Apple. Now it's good that they're starting to trust their users, to know that their users want their gear to be good. And that's why we're doing this so heavy. We're not even on the bicycle part yet. It's going to be like a grand finale, but then we have the second grand finale of, yeah, I want to get a couple songs recorded, and they seem to turn out better live stream. Oh, my eyes are going to fall out of my head. I'm tired already, and I just woke up. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep, but I'm on my routine. Rather than a schedule, I don't want to plan anything. Yeah. Scheduling and planning really isn't working out for me with the getting stuff done. It just kind of like starts projects that don't get finished, or they kind of suck because they're rushed and or turned off. So I just do it until it's done, or until like I can't physically do it anymore. And that's why some songs exist. But in a way, it's really cool that those super duper ugly songs exist, because then that kind of opens a door for other people to have that as maybe like their whole style. And I like that. I like the way it sounds, but it's really dissonant. Hey, check it out. Here's all of our MIDI. And I'm going to drop my other camera mount here. Back a bit. Drop back, drop back. Okay, so we've got our MIDI here, right? How many tracks do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vocals. Tempo locked. Good. We're basically just going to replace some of that MIDI with the bicycle sounds because we have the song made and it sounds good. I'll play you what we have already. The issue I don't want to mess around with here is having to undo like the MPC and then like changing from standalone to controller mode. That makes terrible popping sounds. I got reprimanded from some of my listeners that like even touching the Ableton Move, like pushing buttons, is creating really harsh sounds, especially when I have it all delicately EQ'd to work for the sounds that I've modeled. That audio needs to have an impact detection going on so that we can control that. That'd be really fun to automate impact detection and ambience detection. Imagine you go ow and you get that sound of the pad plus saying ow. That'd be some classic pack, you know. I'll do it in a second, but we've got a couple things going on here we have to take care of. So I'm just going to download the tempo lock. It offers tempo lock because sometimes a song can drift in its tempo and we want it to lock on for pretty much just DAW-less jamming, not necessarily for a refined science pop song. I'm getting text messages of people needing to support. Thank you so much. That's Band and the Band Aid. I don't like to say band mates. I like to say Band Aid. The Band Aids. And we have the algorithm about to pop off, so it's good practice just to tune in and make good comments and try to talk to each other, because we're going to have some auto beef system to have to deal with, and that backflow will either go to your anonymous page or to your profile. We're going to be working on live streaming to a couple other platforms once we have the beat build up. Download all. There we go. Oh, no, we don't want the WAV, but that's okay. Here, WAV and MIDI files. I hope it doesn't double charge me here. I know it's double charging me memory. That's for citing. So, yeah, next we're going to open up the MIDI in the MPC. Not Ableton. Because we want to be able to record standalone, plus the sound of the computer, that OnlyFans sound is, I would need to tune it more to fit the exact key mode, and that's even more work. That's called carrier wave. Vocoder is the popular word people use for that. And we're trying to get vocoder built into the Move. Imagine being able to play a note, you know, like, what is this? Well, that's got a lot of decay. Where were we? Yeah. Imagine voice. That's cute. It sampled the sound plus my voice at the same time. We can't do reverse on a key group. We need reverse on key group, and that reverse really needs to be oh, look, it kind of like, it looks like it updated itself. That's cool. Okay. I'm down. They know that the descent doesn't just stop, that the descent exists in the gear. Like, this machine kills fascists, you know? Kind of stuff. And that was our hint from the past. Our time traveler Jean has delivered such a message that must be opened. Blurp, blurp, blurp. Copy confirmed. What am I doing? Great, I've got to open the, oh no, let me see. What version of MPC is this? The screen? I don't know. Maybe 3.6 now can, like, only open on the desktop if you have it on your standalone. Because it doesn't look like this when I start the program with desktop. But let's get to the bike core song. Yeah, see, we're still getting to it. How long have we been on now? I'm not looking at that screen. I will only go to my app operation screens now. And I'm just going to be my authentic self sitting here being loony toony. Auto toony loony. All the booty. Wop babaloo wop. Yes, you got it. Albums. I think this was in the singles. This was planned to be a single. But it might, yeah, this goes into like a different category of music. This is more specific to a type of lifestyle than in general that most people have to deal with. Like the psychological stories and hyper real lyrics have been over time designed from a personal perspective to understanding that maybe a lot of people have this example, especially if I see something online and other people talking about it. I'm like, well, so maybe I should just do this, you know. But there are songs, like, I know there's a lot of bike core kids and we're gonna have to do some shows with them, but I want to bring a really finished song, and I want them to see how much effort it took just to get to that point where it's so simple and fun. Some people, some of my bandmates, my band-aids, are serious about programming, and the idea of AI has really gone above and beyond and destroyed all dreams of being able to have a niche little idea, because everything is just becoming more homogenized in a way that, like, it's just the pop parts. All of the finesse and the transitions are getting lost, and it's just cut 1-2 with a square shape. And it's exactly what I'm doing, but it needs to have more human core, right? Mistakes. There's no mistakes in it. Like, in Suno, at least, you can switch the weirdness level, but that weirdness only seems to happen at the end of the song. You know, unless you load a song in, and I'm trying to show you the fun of that. So you know, this series began DAWless, and I wanted to show you bringing stuff to just play with and jam with to the table. Yeah, like, so there's two different versions here. There's one from 15.5.25 and 16.5.25. Maybe I'll open the newer one. I wonder if it'll open, even. Sometimes my projects don't open anymore. Mind you, this is mostly a Ableton Move. I'm trying to make this an Ableton Move project, but I don't know if, like, the limitation of that bundle failing would be if that's going to mess me up. I was really intending to bring that back, but maybe with these MIDI stems I can save it. Let's see. The thing is, we can't get MIDI drag and drop onto the Ableton Move, so even if we have, like, this huge project and we just want to bring it back and put, like, a live element of sampling a bicycle in every single show, that one sound could be different every time, but we built the song in a weird way from another source, and we just want to open it up and give it some control and playability. That's something I think a lot of people are having trouble explaining, because yes, you want to start songs from scratch, but I think Move is more for starting in the middle between everything. So no matter what you have, you just throw the Move in between it. It's not necessarily always going to be the beginning or the end, but it takes I actually use it for the beginning and the end. In between is what I see most people using it for. It's like controlling another thing, and then it's sampling another thing, and then it goes out from that into a mixer or have whatever. But I'm using it more as the inspiration jam tool, and then I'll load that into Suno, as I showed you with the Bandcamp song, and then from that I will move my project along into the Force, where I do my vocals, and then end building with beats on here. But now that's become more of a jam session thing to do live in front of people and with people, not studio. But of course I have to practice it in studio to be able to do it live. But I found sometimes practicing too much wears me out, and I have to find that balance of knowing the gear and be able to do it with my eyes not working. But here we go. Let's see if this is the right version. We're almost ready to plug you into the speaker. Let's just listen in the room, giving you a sample of the speakers. Oh, right. The computer is going to fail because it's an i9 MacBook Pro, like i9 processor. Alright. I've got to take a sip. My mouth is dry from yappity yap yap. If these CEOs of monopolized industries would just go live stream and talk about like what they like, you know, for themselves, and then show it off later and let the world make fun of them, holy fuck, come on now. That's like, I feel like my brain is completely used when I'm done doing these live streams. Alright, I'm just gonna tell you, because I'm also telling you about what I'm doing here. But yeah, let's screenshot all that. I think we got it. So we're going to close. We got Reddit up there. I'm trying to get some live stream onto Reddit from anonymous profiles. That's where we're going. Stealth mode. You heard the stealth mode song from the post-pop songs. It's online. You can get it at 1-856-68232.org/audio. Or 1-856-68232.bandcamp.com, and it's right there, the newest release. And I think, like I said earlier in this feature, that I believe we need to maybe stop posting to Bandcamp. We're going to keep it up, but I think we're done and we've graduated, and now we have to launch our work out into the larger systems, and we'll keep our own archive. Like, we see M. Lee's website. You really got to check his website out. It's crazy. C-Razy. It's more fun than mine, and it operates better than mine. It's amazing. And you got to check out their music. They're doing this kind of music, but better. You just gotta listen to it. I need to like send my music out into another machine for it to get good, but they are able to make it perfect within just the one bot. I don't work with bad people. Sometimes bad people try to work with me and I push them away, but otherwise I'm like in your pocket. Yo, what are you doing today? Oh, I can't do anything. I'm just wondering what you're doing. Just keeping that eye open, and when we can do our things, that's cool. I might have a bandmate come over, Band-Aid, in a little bit to grab some files, so I hope we have this done in time. They're probably checking to make sure when I'm done. Zappa, yeah. I'm looking at my phone. You can see I'm looking. Okay, everyone. Even if I'm not on billionaire sociopathic media or out at the parties, I'm doing the thing that I love and that you love me for. So, yeah, I want to be able to do this without having to talk about it. I just do it, and you understand to move the camera and know that the sound is going right in the camera instead of in the room like this. So we're making a new, we gotta make a new MIDI, right? Wait a minute. I don't know how we're gonna do this really fast. I just lost the motivation to do this when seeing the bundle pack from Ableton did not open. Yikes. I didn't put that in my report. I'm just going to start a new Ableton note. Ableton move beta 1.8 bugs. Volume knob moves around. Wait, that's not a good way to say it. Volume knob seems to be automated and moving itself around, causing inaccessibility to the touch of other knobs, buttons, or pads. Maybe they want to see what we think of that. Do we want automation on the volume? I just want to be able to always control the volume over top of anything. So I touch anything and I can do the volume of it, and it doesn't matter what's going on, because that volume is my only thing in the universe, the sound. So if I don't want to hurt someone's ears, I can just turn that down fast. But otherwise, I have to wait for the screen to clear to be able to do that. Sometimes another parameter is still on the screen. I don't know, maybe it's because the boards are so close together, it could have caused like maybe the potentiometer to have some like touching with something else. It could be a hardware issue. I see people sending their moves in for repair, but I see them also getting back something even worse. So it's like, it's not totally broken, I'm reporting that, and then cannot load project bundles into Move Manager to use anymore. I don't know if they're, they could be user issues, but we want to know. So we got, I wonder how many of my other projects will ever be able to be open. So that makes me wonder and need to keep my Band-Aids projects on the Move, because I might never be able to open them again. And that's a huge sweat. Ugh. My eyes just keep getting doomier with each move. But I'm here doing it, showing you. Let's see. So how do we want to load that MIDI that we just got for 50 credits? Let's see if this will play. Nope, the processor can't handle it. My computer cannot process music as well as the MPC now. The MPC used to move slower, so that just goes to show you what bloatware is. We're not really sure why we got so many synths in the MPC. It's cool to sample them. We really just need the best of the synth world and have some really special control over the sounds, and then use those sounds as models to manipulate real-world audio, which is what Simpler has been doing, that research and development take a synth, open it up, and apply audio to it, and try to make those same controls exist on the audio instead of, and that's what a lot of these FM synths are, actually just samples, and they're taking up a lot of space. So you might as well just have it yourself, and then you have the synth model empty kit with like a very very little sample, maybe like a M4A file or something like that, the tiny audio file that is completely lost. There's a lot of loss to the sound, but then you can replace that sound with your own real world sounds, and it would get beefy, and that way you'd have a sample to use, start with, and then you can replace it, and that sample that it comes with wouldn't take up too much space. So let's think about this. I don't know where I put the MIDI. Okay. That's cool, but we need the MIDI. I'm just like opening the same zip over and over again. Let's see if it's this one. Yes. Okay. So let's delete the other ones. Let's make sure we're deleting the right one. I have a habit of deleting the wrong ones, especially while my eyes are like all over the place and trying to do 10 other things. Like, I'm working on a side quest workflow right now, trying to just get it so that I can sample the sound in there. That sound that I just played, this is going to be the bike sound. I don't think the MPC and the Move can connect with MIDI very easily, because that would be fun to make the MPC push the MIDI out to the Move so that it would program this melody in, and then I could have an alternate version. Do you want to hear what version I have so far? Okay. I think I can open as an entire audition here. Back in the day, you could just open your audition on standalone and play the whole song.
Cause climb the walls, get your fire trucks, lace through the smoke. If your frames breaks, that's when you choke. Handlebar blades, patch up tires, no gas, no guns, no corporate lies. We build from trash, we buy this smart, with no more roads, just what we chill. Like cool, the last one's life, like cool. I'm running death down the road, like cool. Gears like teeth, like cool. Rip through the streets, free lane. No fuel, no kings in the streets, no law, just steel, just breath, just rage, just raw. Single speed picks up the blast again. Had that bike 15 years. Bought it new, no mic, no gear. Slim looked goon, came creeping near. Stole my ride, disappeared. It's not clean, cast lock tight. 9 months stuck, couldn't ride. Well, then I write a song instead. Lyrics bled, but I survived. 17 years and a revolution later. Got a new frame, kicked it by my neighbors. Beautiful wheels for the ones that care. Now I ride with love, no fear, no despair. No fuel, no kings, no streets, no laws. Just steel, just rap, just rage, just raw. Single speed picks up and the blast again. Like core, pedal faster, never stop. Like core, gate this bike to the pipe. Like core, only riders get them live. Like core, it's got enough flux left to go. Like core, like core. Like teeth, sugar the streets, freely.
So that's what it sounds like all together, but we want to replace all sounds into the move so that we can just play that way. Honestly, I could do this a lot simpler by here we go. Bytecore MP3, right? Since we can't open the original song anymore from when we were in the bike shop down the street. It's not even a shop. The bikes aren't for sale. They're for free. They spend a lot of money to get the bicycles for free. They basically go pick them up from other places in droves. They'll drive for days to go pick up like 100 bicycles, you know, in the middle of the USA. And it's fun for them. Just like I'll go on tour for 7 months to tour all 7 continents to bring universalism. But these things need to be flawless. We can't be marketing works in progress, you know. I mean, we can, but otherwise that's what we have to say. Life is a work in progress. Your healthcare is a work in progress. We're practicing medicine. Okay. So it just called set 5. It just retitled the project name, and now it's just yeah, now it's called set 5 instead of singles. Remember, we deleted it. So maybe now we can delete it from here. Delete. Okay, now let's start a brand new project. Project 6. We're back at 6. I guess we looped around the entire number set. I really recommend that they change the saving process to be like the date and time. Yeah, we're never getting to this song, by the way. This is never going to happen. Oh right, we can only load that song through Note. Okay. So now we have set 6. We have to put that on upload to cloud. We're going to see some silly little set 6 in our tops here. I'm just falling asleep tired because this is like a lot of set up, you know. It's the setting it up that makes me so tired. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna go to our samples here. Try to put it in a comfortable position for myself and for you to see. Not too much glare there, I guess. And I go to my own. User library, okay. I think they're called imported. So now we're looking for bike. Let's see how the search works. Not book. Not book. Bike core. So it's 120 BMI. Oh, trying to stop it. There we go. Now let's see, did it update? Nice, okay. And it'll show up on your phone. Yeah, so this is bike core. We're just going to title this bike core so we don't have to deal with it later. But we did get set 6 out of that. Bike core. 101. Or we're going to go 404 because our original was lost. See, I'm getting used to not... Yeah, okay, so it updated and it stops the playback. So as soon as you're done with your move, you have to, like loading it with Note, you have to then close the app or else it'll fail like you heard. I want those MIDI notes. I could sit here and try to learn it, but that's different from, like, if I wanted to actually learn it, I would pick up a piano and a guitar and do that. I have both of those. But this is a different workflow. This is like, we'll jam on top of it with those instruments, but it has to get to like a simple workflow like this. Let's see, what can we do about the MIDI? We're just going to make a MIDI track in the MPC. I don't know what output to use for that. My brain just stopped working again. But that's just so that we can program it into the move. So we're going to try to drop that in. Synth mid. This dialog isn't yet available in the GUI. Please use the hardware's touch user interface TUI for this feature. I don't know what I just did. I just dropped it on a pad because it's not dropping in a track lane. I did this before it worked really well. I didn't come on here just to learn. I actually came on here to show you the setup and that there are different ways to do this, but maybe sometimes the technology is not going to allow us to do it, even though there is the implication that it could, and that that would be a regular thing people would want. So I'm glad we're showing it for everything and everyone to see, because we need these features to be super simple. It'd be even greater if Ableton Move could allow for us to just drag and drop like MIDI like that into the manager, and then it would just load. Look at that. Look what I did, guys. I plugged 2 outputs into my headset. Isn't that cool? Haha. Just pick one. And then send it to the camera. Right. We are so discombobulated here because we're doing so many different types of setups, and I lose my energy trying to set it up off camera. So this kind of keeps me accountable for being able to do this. Yeah, alright. Just like the future workflow for music, unless everybody's content with listening to static and the birds. I know a lot of people who have a lot of money say that that's the way to go, but musicians actually want to do what they do, so the music industry will always exist. Especially if the gear continues to fail, we're still going to listen to and make our own. So, capitalism doesn't work for everything, you know. Or anything at all. Okay, undo the power here because it started to get twisted in the tripod. Alright, I want to make sure that we don't give you too much silence there, because I'm going to plug all of this in. Okay. I think what we should really do here, I'm changing my mind again of how this setup should be, just so it'll be more efficient for you to watch. We're not going to do anything with the MPC or the computer or that MIDI, but it's possible to do it maybe one day. What we're going to do here instead is a lot simpler. We're going to just have the audio output from the Move directly into the camera. Yeah, we're still in computer mode there. We should actually eject it. I wonder if I can eject it while the computer's off. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Who knows? I do know that the best phone for you to use for Ableton Note is, and the most affordable, is probably the Apple iPhone 15. Don't get anything newer than that, because it's not going to really change much of what you need to do with Note, but it has the USB-C port, the first model with the USB-C port, which is what you need to use Ableton Note as your screen for the Move or everything. And we're getting the Note updated to a point where it will look exactly like the Move, and Ableton Live's warp mode will look exactly like Move, and that will help with the workflow from the most limited to the most. Okay. We're going to plug this in, but I need to be able to hear you. So I've got to grab my headphones from my little kit here. This is my Move box, and I just keep my live stream pieces on here. Yeah, we have to figure something out for the audio. The audio is just not clear enough with the Rode Go 2s. Maybe the Go 3s are better for what we need, like noise cancellation and ambience detection and what's it called? Auto gain staging. I just needed to get this out. Oh crap, you know what? I'll need this. Got the cable to plug in. Forgot that. And I'm gonna need double output so I can hear it while that, and also I'm using this as a stand. Try to not have too many wobbly sounds, because we're going to be sampling intentional wobbles that we're going to be motioning. Of our headphone output. Plug in our output, and we're going to take our camera feed cable here. Ready for you. And once this beat is pretty much made, we're gonna go do a little surf around the web. I feel silly about doing that because the public service announcement needs to do that. It shouldn't be literally a bike building beat that goes around, although that's cool. It's random enough to get through all of the Palantir descent things, but yeah, that's our style, is the descent, the descendants. Okay, headphones. My camera just says streaming output. I can't really hear. Okay. I can hear some fan. What fan is that? Maybe it's actually the camera fan. It's a pretty cold room. I don't have heat. Okay. So let's get our audio open here. Alright, silence on set. 3, 2, 1. See, that was painless, right? And you're like, why didn't you do that the whole time? It's because ear fatigue. We don't want to be tired of hearing what we're doing. Yeah, I wonder what all the buzzing's about. But, yeah, that should be fine. Finally, for the moment we've been waiting. Talk show. Yeah. Welcome to the talk show. And now that we're done talking, we'll start advertising the talking part. This is... You can see our boiler room set up. Hee hee. Move the table back more. It's a New York amount of space. Now, literally, I have to do something here. So it's not just sampling. Crazy, right? It's a lot I'm doing here. Crikey. And you know what? I should also get an adapter so I have more cable length. Have a turnaround. Yeah. Just have this bag of cable-y things. Okay, and try to not rip the cable pulling it out. Okay, and here's our extension. Oh, sorry, could have been a good kick sound though, right? And now, now I can hear, but there's a significant amount of audio loss drop with the headphones. Okay, so the sound is like cutting out. Yeah, I can't really hear it. I wonder what I did to myself here. Can you hear that? And you can hear the table shake too, right? And the things on it. Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing. Maybe it's these audio components aren't made with the best resources. Okay, well, I can hear again. I guess it's just that cable, and we're going to have a super limited thing, and maybe this cable will just perpetually be in frame. You know, you gotta live with it. If I do this out loud, without headphones on, it could be a mess. And my other headphones are way over there. Way over there. Maybe I'll just grab them. It's easy. Okay, just don't knock anything over with your non-skin tight pants. You gotta be really careful in tight situations. I think the people with the baggy pants, the baggiest pants, don't really need to be in tiny areas and or not riding bicycles. Because you'll see really quick how far you get with baggy pants. You can roll them up, but you always have to keep rolling them up because they fall down. You could get an invention to fix that, but, if you like that style. Oh, my eyes are just like fading so fast. Okay, I can hear again, and I've got more distance. Yeah, cool, so fun. I need to take a hit of magic medicines. Such great sounds. You enjoyed those sounds the other night. I know you did. I did. If I did, I'm sure you did. I design consonantly. Constant consonants. Alright, definitely gonna need more coffee. But hopefully this stream will be its own entertainment. Let's hear what we got. It really rickety sounds. Hold on. It's the table. Yeah, I'm just never too interested in synth sounds. They're like accent sounds to me. You know what? Let's see if this might help. Silence on set. Is this cleaner? Yeah, less adapters, less interfaces equals cleaner sound. You can still hear the air moving around and the other electrical components in my space. Good. Okay. Wonder how many sounds we're gonna get. Are we still in B minor? Good. We're still in 120? Good. Okay. Finally, the show. Wow. Whole car. Let's first see what kind of sounds we get. These things are going to be jingling and jangling the whole time. This. Okay. looking for sound, making my hands dirty, probably gonna get the pads dirty. So I need an assistant to do these kinds of things, trying to find the sound. I've got to change the settings. Oh, yeah. Hitting the machine's cool too, though. Oh, just got my shoe messed up. That's okay too. You can see it from the video. Well, it happened at least on video, right? Yeah, we have plenty of room. This is a lot of space for New York. It's like compacting code in a room, but being alive. Oh, like headphone cable, here we go. Oh, okay. Knock everything over. Hold on. Just moving. Baggy pants. Yes. Stuck. Okay. Next, we're going to... push everything out of the way. Let's see. Can you hang out while I do the brake pedal? Yeah, it's for the front. Cool. Alright. And that sound will be interesting. Well, let's see, where were we? This might be our kick. Guys. The brakes. Ready? Let's get it this way first, then we'll do it backwards, right? Yeah, ready? Oh. Nope. That click sound. Well, we're gonna get the bell now. Nice. And it's pretty much all the sounds of a bike. Maybe this is the kick. Garlic. That delicate little ding bounce. My hands. Wow. Okay. Let's rub the dirt off. Alright. Do it, baby wipes. Okay, ready. find out why this is so cheap. It's because it doesn't really work. It's like a leftover draft of something someone invented, but they realize it needs to be put on in a specific order. Like, I can't get this angle because otherwise I'd have to turn it this way, but then my hand is in the gear and there's not even enough space to put the tool because of that issue. I think the main takeaway here from this whole video is seeing how well I handle failure. But I think maybe I need to go to the specialist for help with this. And maybe like donate this to them. I don't know if I could even get a refund on it anymore. I haven't tried it. This is the first time I'm trying it. Yeah, I just wanted to make it easier so I could get it around, but I could also donate these inner tubes to them, since like this is obviously not something I can do last minute or anything. I would have to get another one of these things, and I don't know, and maybe I can change the order of this, or just take it off and use it, but I feel like I could also rip my hand open by doing this. But I'm not going to leave this down. But I won't let us down. The compression on this Sony camera is amazing, don't you think? You don't even hear me turn it up. And I turn it down, only time. You see, I can trick it, it's smart. It's not just an off-on switch, it's actually, this camera is reading compression, gain staging. So we better just do this song, right? Tomorrow I can, or like, what's it now today? I can go to the bike shop and just hang out. I'll bring this and this stuff and this song and this live stream, and we'll show what I was having issues with, and maybe we'll be able to do it again there. Who knows? As like a dedicated video or something. I don't know. But here we are trying it now, and we're gonna practice a song. Yeah, right?
Lock together critical mass. Skip the turns, eat ass. Like a damn marble grabber. Broken legs and bloody knees. Streets of stage, we're living free. Clear lane, lean on the night. Medical mass, prepare to fight. City's dead, oil's dry, silence in the sky. Engines choke, towers broke, vultures circle high. But we ride, still goes in the flame. No cars, no flags, just a bike in your name. Ash in the air, no signal, screams we roll through. We were lit, more mission clean. Rust in our lungs, scars on our hands. Metal power boats, taking back the land. We're the last ones left. Everyone hanging down. Years like tea. With thrills frustrated. High rise turns and burnout malls. We rate supply, runs climb the walls. Get your fire trucks laced through the smoke. If your frames break, that's when you choke. Handlebar blades, patch up tires, no gas, no guns, no corporate buyers. We build from trash, we buy this group. And on the roads, that's when we chill. I'll be cool. For the last ones left, like cool. I'm running death out of breath, like cool. Gears like teeth, like cool. Rip through the streets, freely. No fuel, no kings, no streets, no law. Just steal, just breath, just rage, just raw. Single speed picks up the dead plastic cat. Had the bike 15 years. Bought it new, no mic, no gear. Slim with goon came creeping near. Stole my ride, disappeared. It's not.
Say that when your beat goes to the note app, you're gonna have to reset all of your choke groups. The choke groups automatically just reset to whatever the default was, which is kind of bad to be able to bring the project back and forth, because some of us want to change little things and add songs, but what it does is it breaks the project. So yeah, you just want to be mindful to change that back. Thanks.
Survived 17 years and a revolution later. Got a new frame, gifted by my neighbors. Beautiful wheels from the ones who cared. Now I ride with love, no fear, no despair. No fuel, no kings, no streets, no law. Just steel, just bend, just bitch, just raw. Single speed picks up into blast again. I core, pedal fencer never stop. I core, take this bike in the pipe. I core, only riders get to live. I core, got no brains, got no fucks left to give. I core. Games like teeth, sugar streets, freely. Pedal faster, never stop. Give the gate, this bike gets a pipe on the corner. Only riders get to live. Got a race, got a ball to get your core. My core. Be great if I could take a bike ride across town right now.
Making the microphone really sloppy. Freestyle jamming exempt. With freestyle speech exempt. Made the attempt and want to exhibit intent. Like to build beats, live stream, sing songs, make movies. Impact detection required. Audio input effects needed. Automation aboard. Automatable reverse. 32 pad samples. Load and save to USB. Sequence chain. Sequence. You're not ready for this crowd. You need some found sounds, complete, not we'd love to set up our video projectors. For a surround sound and panorama experience. But it's best if there's people in the room. I guess the timing didn't work out right with my Band-Aid, or maybe they're waiting for this live stream to end, but I could keep going, or maybe should just get ready to sing 4 songs. Really excited about the 4 songs, but I'm feeling kind of tired. Maybe I'll put some more energy on top of this board, because we still gotta be able to take this bicycle out to the shop and do some paperwork. And tomorrow I think we're having some band jam sessions with other members of founder, actually. So, Mary, every day, thank you immensely for joining us in whatever this crazy adventure was. We'll try to label it nicely so people can find it. But thank you so much. We built a beat with the bicycle. Sounds so good, doesn't it? This is what we're gonna export. Hopefully it just sounds good. Sounded great in 2 times as well, or 999 BPM. Like core 404. Maybe we can bring this beat to Bike Shop. Just have to get the timing down. So, Mary every day, can't wait to do more. I'll show you the export of this sounds like, because it's going to be vastly different. Clean voice.
Jamuary 15, 2026. Bikecore 404. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and for not killing each other in comments. Yeah.
way to do this with our band-aids, and they see how open and free this is, and that it's kind of more entertaining this way than a script. We came up with a plot line, an antagonist and the protagonist. So, marry every day.